good. Okay, so we've got our Ryfab glass windshield for our 2020 Tracker XTR1000. We're going to start by mounting the slide bracket for the vent on the bottom of the windshield. So I'm just going to put everything on finger tight just to start with, so that we can make it all line up properly when we get it on the side by side. So you start by doing that, and then on the inside of the side by side, I'll show you here in a second, you have to take one of the dash mounting screws out to mount the remainder of the bracket. Okay. So next you have to remove the outside dash mounting bolt. It is a T30 Torx. And this is where the rest of the slide for the vent on the bottom of the windshield is going to mount right here, like so. There again, I'm just going to make this finger tight to start so that we have adjustment on it. It has a slot in the bracket so it moves back and forth easily to let you do some final tuning on it at the end. So we'll just go finger tight there. Pull this back out of the way and snug it up. Once I get the windshield in, then I'll come back and reconnect all of this and then tighten everything down so it fits just right, I hope. Okay, so as you can see, we've got the windshield here. This is the bottom vent where I installed that first small bracket. So we've figured out that the rubber seal here across the top goes underneath the top bar on the roll cage, so it fits really well. It slides right in, and then once you've just got it sitting there, it's pretty self-supporting here for a second. The hard part is getting this clamp to fit in place and get all of the hardware under it. I've also got a wire here for my light bar that's going to give me issues today. We'll just tuck it right there. I think that'll be good. There's a rubber bushing I'll show you more closely when I get to the other side. There's the rubber bushing. It's a hard plastic bushing. It goes between the clamp and the inside of the window frame with the screw through it. Slide down on me there.
Might slide down a lot.
That's right. We'll tweak it when we get there. Shouldn't say tweaker. It's all right. Here's to start. Okay, now we got the brackets. They're pretty straightforward, just kind of a pain in the butt, but simple to figure out. So now we have to push the windshield back up so that this rubber seal seals up good there. We gotta give it a pretty good push. Might take both of us on one each side. There we go. Yeah, it's going to take 2 people probably on the same side of the machine here to get it pushed up and tighten it down. So I'll push up. Oh. Okay, are you ready? Okay, here we go. There we are. That's pretty tight. So now we'll do the other side. We're using a 12 millimeter socket, or it's 11 or 12 millimeter socket, and an Allen wrench. I don't remember the size. Okay, that looks pretty good right there. You ready? Okay, here we go. Quit turning. So there we are. So pay particular attention to your seal up here. Make sure you get that sealed really well. Otherwise the dust and rain and everything else will just come right in there. It's an 11 millimeter on the back on the nut. Okay, so now I've gone back and read the instructions. I'm doing things a little bit backwards according to the instructions. So you're supposed to put the bottom bracket on first. I did the top first, but hopefully this will work too. So you have to pull the 2 bolts out of the cage here, and it comes with replacement bolts that are longer, so this bracket will mount on the inside of the cage and the bottom of the windshield. Unfortunately, my kit only came with 2 of these instead of 4, so I'm only going to use 1 on each side, and at a later date I will pull these back off when I get longer bolts. 8 millimeter Allen wrench, and it's pretty tight to begin with, so you'll just have to get it off there. This is probably why they want you to do this first, because it's tucked behind there now, but it has enough flexibility to accommodate it. Instructions are not really, they're just a guideline to follow. You don't really need them, as any good mechanic knows. So carriage bolts that hold this on the inside of these 2 holes here. This is where we'll see if I messed up by doing the top of it first. I'm hoping not. Go. Nope, everything is lining right up for the most part. There we go. Just a little bit there. There it goes. There it goes. So we'll just go ahead and get these hand tight to start with, and then we'll do the other side and come back and tighten everything up. One thing we did find with this particular windshield install is we had a rear view mirror in the center that had to be removed, and we had side mirrors on it that also had to be removed. We'll have to come up with different side mirrors with a smaller bracket or something to replace those. Very good. So as you can see, the bracket here mounted to the bottom of the windshield mount and through the cage bolts right here. This is the one where I only received 2 instead of 4. on the roof, if you look up here, all of the places where it mounts, you may need to go to the hardware store a couple of times because they're all 10 millimeter nuts, and we know how it goes with a 10 millimeter wrench or socket. So after assembling the latch mechanism there for the vent, I had put it all together backwards. So I had to take it all back off and put it back on. Like I say, if you look at the instructions really closely, the picture shows it from this orientation. That might help you get it the first time. It's a pretty good setup. We've been out riding, as you can see from the dirt, and it stayed up really well. Got a really good airflow through it. Sorry if this is jerky too. But yeah, we're really happy with the Ryfab Windshield. It didn't get nearly as much dust on it as the original plastic one did. So I would say it's definitely worth the money. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe.